Ella did not know how it would end. She only knew she could not stay in her father's house much longer. But at 22, waiting felt like dying. Mazia Koro's house stood on Amechi Road, not the poorest part of town, but never the part people bragged about. It was a house built with patience, one room added at a time, one window fixed when money allowed, one leaking roof repaired after many rains. This was not a house of failure. It was a house of trying. Mazia Koro left every morning before the sun rose properly. His shirt was neatly ironed. His shoes were worn, but clean. He taught children who barely listened, in classrooms that were always too hot, earning a salary that respected him with words, but insulted him with numbers. Yet, he never complained. Mrs. Okoro's stall sat by the roadside. Salt, sugar, groundnuts, soap. She knew her customers by voice. She could tell who was coming just by the footsteps. Every evening she counted money slowly, never in front of her children, never with frustration on her face. If there was excess, she smiled quietly. If there was a shortage, she removed one item from tomorrow's list. That was how survival worked in their house. Ella was the first daughter. She grew up hearing, "You are the example." And she tried. She finished secondary school well. She waited. She stayed home longer than her mates. But something had changed in the world. Waiting was no longer praised. Waiting was mocked. Ego, the younger one, watched her sister with admiration. At 16, Ego still believed in the process. She still believed adults knew better. Ella had stopped believing that. Phones brought the outside world into Ella's room. Helen posted pictures in office clothes. Chioma talked about saving for university. They were struggling too, but their struggle looked forward. Ella's struggle looked stuck. Each night, she lay on her mat, listening to her parents talk softly about bills, about school fees for Ego, about prices rising again. She felt useless. And shame grows fastest in silence. Ella never said it, but she thought it often. I don't want to live like this. Not because her parents were bad, but because the world had convinced her that patience was for people with connections. The lie did not arrive suddenly. It grew. It practiced. It waited for the right moment. One evening, while her mother cooked and her father marked his pupils' test books, Ella cleared her throat. I think I found a small job in town. Her voice did not shake. That scared her later. Her mother dropped the spoon. Her father looked up slowly. A job? He asked. Ella nodded. Just small. I'll manage. Mrs. Okoro hugged her. Mazia Okoro prayed. They thanked God for opening a door. No one asked where, doing what, with who, because parents sometimes mistake trust for wisdom. Ella packed her bag 2 days later. Ego cried. Her parents smiled through fear, and Ella walked away, with prayers following her like incense. The town was not waiting. Jobs were not available. Rooms were expensive. Days passed. Money finished. Fear sat beside her on cold nights. She avoided home calls. Then, one afternoon, a car slowed beside her. The woman inside smiled. "Village girl?" she asked lightly. Ella nodded. "I'm Bella." That was all. No promises yet. No explanations. Just a ride. Just kindness. The most dangerous kind. That night, Ella stared at the ceiling of the borrowed room. Her parents' prayers echoed in her head. So did hunger. and hunger is louder than conscience. 2 weeks later, after a night Ella never spoke about, she sent money home. Not small money, enough to shock her mother into silence, enough to make her father pause mid-prayer. They did not ask again. They celebrated. The village noticed, and Ella learned a terrible lesson. Money can buy silence faster than lies. What Ella did not know was that the door she opened would not allow her to turn back, because the next step would no longer belong to her alone. Ella did not fall into danger. She walked into it, because the woman who led her there smiled like a sister. By then, Ella already knew what Bella did. She had already crossed the line once. What she didn't know was how deep the road went. Bella did not rush Ella. That was her first trick. She did not immediately talk about money. She did not mention men. She did not mention business. She asked questions instead. Have you eaten? Where are you staying? Do your parents know you're here? Ella answered carefully. She was still pretending. Bella listened without judgment, nodding slowly, as if she understood struggle personally. And that made Ella relax. Bella offered her a place to sit, then a place to sleep, then food. Nothing is as persuasive as relief. Ella noticed Bella's clothes, not loud but expensive in a quiet way. Her phone rang often. She never rushed to answer. That calm confidence planted a seed. It was on the third day that Bella spoke plainly. I won't lie to you, she said, stirring her tea. I run girls. Ella froze. Bella laughed softly. Relax, I'm not recruiting you. I just like honesty. She explained it like business. Clients, sponsors, boundaries. No street nonsense, Bella said. No suffering. Ella wanted to stand up, but she didn't. Bella didn't say, do it. She said, think about your goals. Think about school. Think about how long you want to wait. Then she added the most dangerous sentence. You don't look like someone who deserves to suffer. That sentence stayed. Ella said no. At least, she tried to. She talked about dignity, her parents, God. Bella didn't argue. She smiled. Good, she said. Not everyone is brave enough to know themselves. And she changed the subject. That was the second trick. That night, hunger returned. So did fear. Ella checked her phone. Her mother had sent a message. We're praying for you. Ella cried quietly. And when Bella knocked later, Ella did not pretend to sleep. Bella didn't celebrate. She didn't smile wide. She nodded. Just one, she said, to test if it's for you. She spoke about safety. She spoke about rules. Ella heard only one thing, money. Ella did not talk about that night, but she remembered the envelope. Thick, heavy, more money than her father earned in months. Her hands shook. Bella watched her carefully. Send something home, she said gently. Let your heart rest. Ella did. Mrs. Okoro stared at the alert. She sat down. Mazi Okoro thanked God loudly. They did not ask questions. They told the neighbors, "Our daughter is doing well," and pride replaced caution. The second client came quicker, then the third. Ella stopped counting nights. She started counting transfers. She sent money home regularly, bought clothes, shoes. The village stopped worrying. Ella stopped thinking. Bella began to control things quietly. Where Ella went, who she spoke to, what she wore. You're not a child, Bella said. But discipline protects money. Ella agreed, because she was afraid to lose the comfort. One night, a client refused to use protection. Bella intervened. Later, she said calmly, "This is why I need girls who listen." Ella nodded. She was already listening. Back home, Ego watched her sister change. Expensive gifts, phone calls cut short. Ego was proud, and innocence admired confidence. One evening, as Bella counted money, she looked at Ella and said, "You have a sister, right?" Ella's heart skipped. Bella smiled. "Relax, I'm just thinking ahead." Ella laughed nervously, but the idea stayed, because once money tastes good, greed starts thinking for you. Ella would return home soon, and this time, she would not come alone. Ella thought the money had solved her problems. She did not know. It was only hiding them. Next episode, What the Money Hid. Thank you for listening.